The housing market may be in the doldrums at the moment, but for many people the gyrations make little difference. For them, whether they live in cities, towns or villages, affordable housing remains as far out of reach as ever. It's a simple fact. As a society, we've failed to build sufficient social housing in recent decades. It's resulted in a shortage of decent homes for ordinary men, women and their families.
This is the cot. This is my daughter.
Bushra was stuck living in severely overcrowded accommodation for years. Her family lived in a privately rented flat, squashed into 2 small rooms. Even though she and her husband both worked full-time, soaring house costs meant it was impossible to afford a bigger place.
Right, this is my kitchen. Because of lack of space, I have to hang clothes to dry over the door. As you can see, there's no space to cook in this flat. Once I lift the cooker lid, this is the only space I have to cook. And then, as you can see, to get access to my cupboards, I need to pull this bin. To get access to another cupboard, I have to pull this laundry basket. And to get access to my fridge, I have to close the door. I love it. Just my kitchen. Now I can just turn around. I love it. I've got space. And my favourite bit, I have to say, as well as the space, I've got a window.
But now Bushra is one of the lucky ones.
It's just freedom. Freedom, space. And to tell you the truth, it's changed my life. It's changed my life with my family. My children are so content and so happy and running around and playing, which they didn't have that before.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So how can more people like Bushra be helped? What are we doing about our problem? Well, the government has promised to build 3 million new homes by 2020. That is good news, provided a substantial number are affordable rented houses and go to people who need them most, people like Bushra and her family, for whom rented social housing is a lifeline.
Our job is to make as much noise as...
Despite the needs, some people are concerned about the impact of building these homes, and there's a serious risk of local opposition halting these plans.
There won't be enough room on the land because the land is not enough to build houses.
The southeast of England is going to be like one massive, like LA in America, just a sprawling urban mass.
Well, I think probably established members of those communities are going to be very anxious about influxes of those sorts of people.
We do need new homes and people need somewhere to live, so yeah, broadly speaking it's a good idea, I think.
There are so many sort of empty buildings in the city. Is there a possibility to use those?
So let's look at these concerns. It is important to bring back empty houses into use, but the reality is the use of empty homes alone can't solve our chronic housing shortage. Even if all the empty homes in Britain were occupied, it wouldn't be enough to provide everyone with a decent home. We all agree that our countryside is a precious place which needs protecting, but it too needs more affordable housing for local people if it's not to become the exclusive preserve of the better off. It is painful for a homeowner to lose their view, but not as painful as having nowhere to live. Even if the government does succeed in meeting its 3 million target, it will still leave vast swathes of the countryside untouched, as at present only 11% of England is developed. Wayne Hemingway is a designer with strong views about social housing.
You've got to put housing where people want to live. That's most important, that people are happy. And you're happy if you've got access to schools, if you've got access to be able to get to your relations, if you've got good public transport, if you've got access to shops, if you've got access to work. We've got to build accessible places, and we've got to build mixed communities where people of any persuasion, of any financial situation can get on, because we all got to serve each other. You have to have people who work for people, you've got to have people who are entrepreneurial.
I remember coming into work and dreading going home, and now I'm coming, looking forward to coming into my home.
Bushra shouldn't be one of the lucky ones. The hundreds of thousands of families in Britain who are stuck in unfit, severely overcrowded or temporary homes should be able to live in good homes too, not forced to live, as too often is the case, far away from families, friends and basic amenities, all because they can't afford a decent home. It's time to right housing wrongs. Find out how and join Shelter's Now is the Time campaign at www.shelter.org.uk.